Man, I gotta make this video real quick, man. I seen some shit today. I said I was gonna be pure, guys. I'm trying to write notes down from this book. It's a good book. Pick it up, guys. Read it. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to I'm taking notes down so I can go back because I'm not gonna be walking around with this book, but it's really good. I haven't read a book in a long time. The first one I read was this one, and it's beautiful. I can't wait to read it again. But I got other ones to read. But man, I seen this video today with this guy in PA. He shot his neighbors over some feud. They probably didn't like each other. But man, I'm telling you, I grew up in New York, and I had neighbors I didn't like, but you never think about doing that. And it's because the guy had the gun, And like me, a lot of people don't understand about me. Like, I'm not pro gun. It was an experience for me. They're unique. To me, I was like, when I first got my gun, guys, man, I could tell you it felt powerful. I don't know if that was a good or bad thing, but I felt like this feeling. I don't know if it was ego. Like, yeah, nobody can mess with me. Like, nah, this right here, man, anybody mess with me, I could take their life, But in the sense of to protect myself, like to protect me, from someone putting harm on me. But then I realized, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, why would I even think about somebody putting harm on me? Why would I even put myself in that situation? It's like it didn't make sense to me after a while. And then I learned what I had to learn because I felt like, hey, if I'm gonna have this thing in my hands and I'm gonna be carrying this thing, I need to know everything about it. And that's when I know how to shoot. I went to class, I did training, I did my research, the history of the laws of guns, everything. I'm knowledgeable on the subject. But then I realized, right now, like, I've seen so much stuff. Like, I carry my gun for protection. You never know if something's gonna happen. It's like an insurance policy. But I feel like I carry it on me now, but I know it's there, but I know it's not there. It's just in my bag, But I'm not like the John Wayne. I don't have like, yeah, I'm better than you. Like, I get into arguments with people all the time, but I never think I'm gonna pull my gun out and use it on them. And I think it's because the way I was raised. Me growing up, in the hood, like all my friends out here, right? Yeah, y'all still live there. Is when you don't guys don't understand what it is to leave the hood. I lost something from me, and what I lost from me was like that New York, watch your back type. You guys from there, you still do that. So it's part of your it's part of your your programming at the time right there, right? But when you leave and you come to be like me, man, you feel like you're losing something, but you need to lose that. But at the same time, it's like it's not familiar. Like me, I wouldn't go back to New York. But what I know now, I wouldn't go back there because it's too risky for me, right? Because I feel like I have things to lose, so I wouldn't go back over there. But then I feel like if I go back there, I have to go back there with my gun. Every time somebody tells me you're gonna go to New York, I'm like, yeah, only with my gun, But I'm like, what happened to me? What happened to me was that I lost that real man in me, where like I was robbed getting growing up, and it's like something that happened. You keep it moving. You didn't cry about it. Shit happens. People try to rob you all the time. That's what it is to live there. So you get used to it. But now it's like, hey, I don't live around that energy now. I have to find a way like to make if something like that happens again, protect myself. And that's when you get the gun. But then I don't understand the protection thing. Like, I don't believe in it no more. It's just the guns are there as an investment. I don't really care. I'm just like, everybody's buying the guns now. I buy them and I invest in them. And then when shit goes crazy the way these people say they are, then I could profit off of it, right? One of these guys would be willing to pay a lot more because they don't make them no more, right? Whatever. I use that for my advantage. That's how I see it now. But, watching that, man, like this guy doing that to his neighbors, right? Going out there and then ended up taking his life for what? Like, what was the point of that? Why do all that? Why not sell your house and go move? Why not just go inside, yo, fuck this neighbor, like, why this guy had to do that? Like, he was so angry that he went and he did that, right? He took his neighbor's lives for what reason? Nothing, because they were about snow, and then he ended up taking his life. All of that for what? His wife, his kids, all these families are affected now by that. For what? Because the guy had a gun and he was mad and he used it. That's what happened here. That's why I know you're gonna hear some people say, "Oh, that he had a choice." It is what it is, guys. But if he didn't have that shit in his hand, he probably wouldn't just. He's not gonna go inside with a knife because he could have went on with a knife. He could have drove his car and crushed the guy. But it takes more effort to do that. That's the problem. A handgun, a gun, or anything, it's easier. It's like an easy way out, And that's what he did. He did an easy way out in all forms. Instead of him sitting down and talking to his neighbors and say, hey, guys, I don't want to fight no more. How about we just figure something out? Instead of them wanting to be caring about each other, they didn't care about each other. The guy even came out with the gun. His neighbors were still going at him. Oh, you a pussy. You're not gonna do nothing. You're not gonna. This is all masculine energy, guys. Look into that. That's all these negative energies, but it's masculine. Like the female was going at him. Like, yeah, when he came out with the gun, she was going at him. That's all masculine. Like, and maybe she was raised by like dominant man. Who knows? Maybe her husband was one of these abusive guys, and then she was just protecting his back. Because there's guys, like that. They beat their wives and stuff like that. So the woman like protects the guy. So she was like, yeah, like, and then what happens? Look what happened. All those negative energies, it's just like it blows up, and that's the evil stuff, guys. The ego is the energy, the ego, right? That's the evil. So you need to control that shit, and that comes from trying to be better than people. He think he was the best, and look what happened. If there was more feminine divine there, which is more the women feeling like that love, which was his wife should have done, and she's the queen, he's the king. Something can go wrong here. This guy might come out with a gun. Let's squash it. No, she wanted to keep going, and look what happened. All that negative energy. It was all like the yin and yang. It was all yin and no yang. Basically, it was not balanced. That was not balanced energy, and look at them, all gone. And then who knows what happens after that. But yeah, the point is that shit was sad. I try to be on a positive mindset today, but I just had to make that video. Like, honestly, me with the gun stuff, if it came down to it, like you have to give up your guns and everybody's on the same page, I'll do it. Like everybody, no more war. The reason why we have war is because we created weapons to harm. And that's what it is. We always advancing who's gonna make the better rocket, who's gonna make the better gun, and it's all to harm. It's not for sport shooting anymore. Like, yeah, I know people need hobbies, need to do sport shooting, but if it's dangerous to that extent, then why we need that? Why need a gun, right? Because we want to go shooting. You shoot once, experience it, and move on with your life. And I guess people don't understand also addiction. Those are bad addictions, because if you're addicted to always shooting your firearm because you want to be John Wayne, you're doing for sports shooting, yeah, that's cool. But those same kind of people, they're like the hotheads. Yeah, if someone comes near me, I'm ready to go. Like, these guys are ready or have the ready negative energy of taking someone's life in them. Like, that don't make sense, guys. That's why I never understood why people go to war and then, there's police officers and then they pray and then I don't know. How you going to pray to God and then you're doing a job that you're going to take someone's life? You got something on your body that has all that power. That don't make sense to me, guys. But that's just my thoughts on that. What happened with that guy and what he did was just cowardness. He was a pussy. The neighbor called him a pussy, and then look, he ended up doing some pussy shit. And he lost, and that was what he wasn't supposed to be, right? He wasn't being himself. He was being the ego, right? And look what happened. So y'all already know what it is, fast life.